justice. It's never too late. Contact the New Jersey Drug Hotline. This is a joint production of SPF ETV and Westfield High School Television. Girls Varsity Soccer, the Scotch Plains Fanwood Raiders at the Westfield Blue Devils.
Welcome to today's game between the Westfield Blue Devils and the Scotch Plains Fanwood Raiders. Your announcers today, I'm Stephen Smith.
And I'm Ted Thode.
The Raiders today come in at 11 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie, and the Blue Devils come in at 10 wins and 3 losses. The last meeting between these two teams was a 2-1 victory at Scotch Plains, and today's injuries forced the Scotch Plains Raiders Michelle Fisher, Kristen Zyla, Hallie Mintz, Allie Hamilton, Lauren Weisbrod, and now Ted for the Westfield injuries.
The only injury for Westfield is Allison Bridgman. She has a knee injury. She's out for 10 days.
And we should also mention that today is the first joint broadcast between Westfield and Scotch Plains, so we look forward to the opportunity.
Also, Steve, this is a county game. Both these teams have made states, but I'm sure would love to win their county.
Looks like we're getting set for the start of today's match. So we hope you enjoy.
Westfield and Scotch Plains both have a reputation to be powerhouse in girls soccer, so it promises to be a big matchup. I know for Westfield that the girls were very excited today. I spoke earlier with the goalie, Lauren Sinnenberg, and she said that the girls were very hyped up.
Well, I imagine they would for a rival game like this. It's a big game for both teams. Both teams trying to keep that reputation and would not like to lose it to their crosstown rivals, so to speak.
Also, Steve, last time they met, Westfield lost 2-1, so I'm sure they would like to come back.
Got a little revenge, out for a little revenge today?
It looks like
Westfield. Scotch Plains still in the huddle.
Westfield's ready to tap. Allison Lutmer and Annie Schwindel are going to take the tap for Westfield. Like all soccer games start, they start with a little tap in the center, and then the battle begins. Referee checks the goalies are ready. Looks like we're underway.
And we're underway here. And Scotch Plains plays it deep.
Here we go.
Near sideline.
There it is. Melissa Rosen and Allison Lutmer. Allison Lutmer is a very good player that's been on varsity for 2 years. She's a junior. One of the key parts of Westfield's offense.
Regano, Bronikowski keeps control, now plays it back near sideline, and out of bounds, throw in for
it looks for Westfield. Melissa Rosen with the ball.
Rosen will throw in for the Blue Devils. Taking her time, now makes a decision and plays it near side. Bronikowski intercepts. Sapienza plays it ahead.
I know Westfield would like to get the early goal. It would be a huge...
First score is important in soccer, just as a first goal is important in any sport.
Also,
and that is out far sideline, and that will be a throw-in for Scotch Plains.
Also, the Scotch Plains goalie is only a freshman, so I think
they will like to take they would like to try to take advantage of her inexperience in that, I'm sure. But after all, they are 11 up and 1 down, so there's a reason for that. And midfield. Try to play a long ball for Rosen. Rosen is in deep behind Bronikowski, and they are fighting.
It was a great play by...
intercepted and played out to center. Sapienza loses control, and the header in the middle of the field.
That was a very good play earlier by Alice Mutmer.
Sapienza.
Tried to go the
Down
long
the
pass
near
to Melissa
sideline,
Rosen for the
looking
the
for
ball.
some sort of center, and then Justine Palm intercepts and sends it back out. Raiders try to regroup as they get another attack going, and the defense converges for Westfield in the box and cleared out
That
to
was Emily
center.
McNeil on the play number 20. She's one
Chelsea
of the best
Mintz
players for
tries to keep it in.
Westfield. She's been on varsity for 2 years, I believe, maybe 3.
Chelsea. Bronikowski near side. And Balistriere plays it to Doria, Nicole Dioria, down the side, and she loses control out of bounds, and Westfield will have it.
So Steve, it's been a very evenly matched game so far.
Both teams trying to set the tempo, and neither team really having any organized attack thus far.
Well, early on in soccer, they try to go with the home run pass, get a long ball, maybe a striker left alone, a breakaway.
Certainly understandable. Whatever you can get, whatever you can do to get the momentum. Loose ball, and that is played, and we have a girl down. It is Katie Bance. And
that was a kick by Lauren Selman.
She got one kicked right in her
Selman.
shin. She is obviously very hurt, and Coach Ewing comes out to attend to Katie. Hope she's all right.
Well,
I don't know if we have a.
Lauren Selman kicked that ball, and she is
Obviously
probably
very
one of
hurt.
the best players on Westfield. She's been on varsity since freshman year. She was the only player out of this the senior class to be on varsity freshman year. Right now, we're experiencing a little technical difficulties, but we're back. We're back.
And Katie, still down. They still tend to her, and
it was a very hard kick ball. It's
she took her
understandably.
right in the shin. Those protectors there, they're not going to do much to cushion the blow from a shot like that.
Well, it looks like Scotch Plain's been very banged up as of late. So
Yeah, we have reports that they have 5 or 6 injuries already. So it would be quite devastating.
They have 5 injuries.
It would be quite devastating to lose yet another player. But she's going to get up, and crowd wants to rally her off the field, and they're going to carry her off the field so she gets the royal treatment, so to speak.
You never want to see this, Steve, ever.
Nah.
When a player cannot get off
Never
the
want to
field
see injuries on her own power.
It's always.
We'll see if we can get an injury report for you at halftime. Until then, we will play on.
It's always a sad sight. You never want to see a player getting carted off. And then who would Scotch Plains throw in?
Scotch Plains throw in near side. It is Bronikowski. And the ref signals that we are in near side.
That was a very interesting throw-in. She threw it right to Emily McNeil. Emily McNeil sends it down and
out, and Scotch Plains will have it midway in their own territory.
That was a great play by Emily McNeil. She tried to send it up to Alice Mutmer, but unfortunately went out of bounds before she could make something happen. Oh, a great head by Alice Mutmer. That was a very good use of her head.
Chelsea, Bronikowski, and intercepted there by Sheridan.
Sheridan's a senior this year.
Yeah.
I believe her first year on varsity. She's been playing very well. She provides very good leadership.
Freed down the side, trying to center it. She does, but to no avail. It'll be out for a goal kick, Scotch Plains.
That was very good thinking, but unfortunately,
she just ran out of real estate down the side and couldn't quite find the teammate in the middle to possibly put one in.
Well, I've seen my fair share of soccer games, and normally that's the strategy they try is bring it down the sidelines and center it for that shot on net. I think both teams, Westfield and Scotch Plains, are going to try to use that strategy.
And that's the same they use in hockey when you bring it down the wings and center it.
For those
and
of
the
you,
goal kick out of bounds, and Westfield will control.
For those of you who've just joined us, score is 0-0. It's early on in the first half.
And a good play by Carly Wells, just breaking up the tempo.
It looks to be a corner kick for Westfield, their first.
Corner kick Westfield, I'm sorry. The first corner kick of the afternoon. And we'll see how she plays it. Wells, high in the air, header, and it is brought down. Comes back to the near sideline.
That was the first real scoring attempt we've seen all day. The ball, they sent it up. It looked like Allison Letmore was trying to head it in, but the kick was a little high. It was a very good play.
Back to play for Scotch Plains and into the middle of the field, and Westfield intercepts. And there is Bronikowski, loses out of bounds, and Westfield will have it. Sideline.
Looks like Miss Melissa Rosen's taking the
and also the rain is starting to pick up here a little bit, so we'll see if that becomes a factor in today's afternoon and in today's game. Pardon me.
Well, back to what I was saying about Melissa Rosen. She's a very good athlete here at Westwood High School. She also plays basketball on varsity. She's played the last few years.
We look forward to seeing her in winter sports then. And there is far sideline. Bridgman loses it to.
Steve, I must say, for those of you that are at home, to the right of us is probably one of the biggest clouds I've seen. It looks like it's about to pour.
It's a big dark storm cloud that looks like it contains tons of rain, and hope that the skies don't open up on us here for the safety of the players and the convenience of us, the broadcasters.
Well, Steve, I don't believe they ever really call soccer unless it's
soccer's not like
thundering.
base, right? Soccer is a sport you can pretty much play in the mud. Back to game action. It's Regano, Bronikowski near side, and that is played deep by Shillman for Westfield.
Lauren Stellman tried to send it up to Allison Letmore, but it just didn't seem to work out well.
Neither team is able to keep a sustained possession, it seems. They're both trying to play the home run ball and coming up empty.
Well, Westfield's definitely pressuring, but Katie Baslin, number 5, has definitely stepped up for Scotch Plains. And every time it looks like Westfield's going to get something going, she sends the ball out.
An ineffective header there, and near side tackle at a whistle and stoppage. And let's see.
Soccer, they were trying to go with a little quick start, catch Westfield off guard, but the ref said that
they'll pull it back, and Scotch Plains will have to throw it in again. So we're back in play, and far sideline it is
Kate Albino. Unfortunately,
Regano plays it ahead, but wrong team. And
Kate Albino came up with the play.
And there is a down Westfield player looking for a whistle, not going to get one. And that is near sideline. That's going to head out.
I think someone stepped on number 15's hands. Dana Fry. She's definitely shaking her hand a lot.
And here goes Nicole Doria down the side, played high in the air near sideline. Stays in. Chelsea Mintz fighting for it and plays it to one of her teammates stationed in the area.
There's Katie Baz again. She's been a
Carly
huge
Wells
defensive stopper for Westfield.
Just into Westfield territory. Doria to Regano. And Veronica try to keep it. And we'll have a throw-in for Westfield. Regano. Balustriere. And that is headed out of bounds, and it will be
a Westfield throw-in.
Yes, it is.
Kate Albino.
Good call, Ted. And a long ball played down, but nobody for Westfield there.
Kate Baz steps up again with a huge defensive stop for Scotch Plains. She's really done a great job today. That's the key, her stopper. She's definitely been stopping things. Westfield like to change it.
Scotch Plains throw in far side, and there is Doria trying to get a shot, but Westfield is satisfied to steal and kick it out, and we'll do the sequence again. Parada trying to get a teammate deep in the box, can't, and then Parada tries to steal back and got a foot on it and ends up earning Scotch Plains a throw-in.
For those of you who just joined us, the score is still 0-0.
Scoreless, and we
midway
have a goal kick coming up here, Westfield. Sorry, Ted.
Midway through the first. Just a big goal kick for Emily McNeil, one of Westfield's best players on the team.
And McNeil sends one deep out to midfield, and it is played back for Zazali. And Zazali has her goalkeeper there if she needs it, but she decides to play it out and wait for her teammates to get back downfield. Good call.
I think she sensed that Westfield defender was coming up behind her, so she just kicked it out and waited for help. And almost spelled trouble for Raiders.
That's basically the right play in that situation. When you're alone, there's no need to make something out of nothing. And there is a high ball out of bounds, and Westfield will have a throw in the Scotch Plains zone.
Well, that's the number one thing defenders are taught, that if just kick the ball out and wait for help.
And there is Ragano leading, and Rosen for Westfield.
That was a great play by Carolyn Chittern in keeping the ball in for Westfield. Stephanie Bridgman runs it down and tries to
set something up deep in the zone. Couldn't. And we have a corner for Westfield. That's the second corner of the afternoon for the Blue Devils.
That was a very smart play by Westfield.
Just kicking it off her team, kicking it off an opposing player to earn herself a corner kick. They set up far side of the box, and now they move once she decides to put the ball in. And we have a whistle in the box, and I believe it's a foul against the Blue Devils.
Unfortunately, Westfield couldn't make anything happen on that corner.
And
Well, Steve, I must say it's been a very evenly matched
yeah,
game so far.
Both teams trying to establish what their role in the game is going to be, and so far no team has been able to take advantage of anything.
Yes, that's very true.
Now that instead of going for something outrageous, both teams seem to be playing it conservative, waiting for the other team to make a mistake, and that just hasn't happened yet.
Steve, it seems like Westfield's only had the 2 scoring opportunities so far.
And I can only recall one good scoring opportunity for Scotch Plains, Ted.
Yes, I don't think that Scotch Plains has anything going so far.
Nothing sustained.
Well, so far it's been nothing. So Westfield was unable. Here's Emily McNeil. She's trying to keep the ball up. Doesn't want Scotch Plains in.
Plays a blindside pass, but it goes out of bounds.
Here's a throw in by Carolyn.
And that is played out by Zazali in midfield, and it'll be a throw.
Zazali for Scotch Plains has been a huge stop.
She's been great defensively every time they try to get a rally going.
Yes, it's very true. She's definitely, every time Westfield tries to get something going, she comes up with a huge stop.
That's a good observation, Ted. And they play it far sideline, and Westfield controls, and the aforementioned Alley's his alley there again. And a shot sails high and wide.
Looks to be a goal kick.
And substitution, far side.
Westfield, oh, his substitutions in.
Can't quite make who is replacing him.
Number 3 is in for Westfield. Joe Kapler. And Melissa Rosen will take a rest, much needed rest.
Well deserved, good point. And
also, number 12, Carrie Hubbard, captain, will come into play.
Perhaps for strategy down the stretch in the first half.
Well, Carrie's been on varsity for 2 years now.
Westfield trying to sustain control, and they put a shot, and it is just out of the reach of Kapler, who just came in. So it'll be a goal kick. I'm sorry, it'll be a corner for Westfield. It was a good defensive play down in the on the near sideline.
This will be the 3rd kick for Westfield. I think they're going to try to do what they do always. And
they kick it in the air. They tend to kick it in the air, don't they?
Yes, they do, and they try to get Allison Lutmer, the big head.
Is she the best on these goal
Yes.
kicks? And that goes on top of the net, not in. So couldn't quite see if you could tell from the angle, but it's not. Substitution is being waved off.
This looks like number 13, Aaron McRae, is coming in. And Allison Lutmer is going to take a rest. And number 12, Carrie Hubbard, is in. Or maybe that's number, I believe 18 actually, my mistake, Annie Smorchkin. Looks like to be another corner, their 4th corner of the day.
See if Westfield can muster a good scoring chance this time. And that is played. And we have a goal scored by
No, it's not a goal, Steve. Westfield, Scotch Plains goalie came up with a huge save, bobbled it, and almost went over her head.
I thought that made it past the goalkeeper and into the net for a Westfield score. That is entirely my fault, and we are still scoreless here. Oh. And that was by far the best scoring chance, wouldn't you say, Ted?
Yes, it's Westfield ball. And if you notice on the screen, number 6. A little elbow, and that is definitely not allowed.
Yeah, that's Bronikowski, very physical player.
Here's Emily McNeil with the kick.
McNeil plays it in the air towards the net. Header is sent out of the threatening area. And Sapienza going to bring it up for the Raiders.
Here comes Scotch Plains, but Emily McNeil sends it back down.
That's a good job of breaking up the momentum on the rush there.
Emily McNeil has probably one of the best foots I've seen to come out of Westfield in
terms of strength, control, or both, Ted?
Yes, strength and control. She's a junior, so Westfield will still have her around for next year.
That's a great asset, it looks like. It sounds like. And Kapler to throw in near side.
She's definitely one of their best players on Westfield.
And it seems like control has been in the Scotch Plains zone, which has got to backfire on the Raiders sooner or later, wouldn't you say?
Yes. Westfield right now scores maybe 0-0.
They're dominating.
Score maybe 0-0, but as you said, before I could finish my sentence, that yes, they are dominating. If I would say Westfield right now is winning, even though its score is 0-0.
They're winning the battle, even though they're not winning the war, as they say.
I guess you could look at it in that way. It's not a direct kick. Number 15 is going to tap it for Emily McNeil to get a shot on net.
And play it off the back of the heel, and that'll go far side and out for a Scotch Plains goal kick.
That was a very interesting play by Westfield. Number 15, Justin Palmer, tapped it for Emily McNeil, and unfortunately she couldn't get a good shot on net. Very good thinking.
it goes far sideline for Hubbard. And that is a pretty physical tackle. And finally, the refs intervene, and I don't know.
It looks like Westfield's ball, and Emily McNeil is jogging up for to take the corner kick right now.
That is the 5th Westfield corner.
They've been dominating the corner kicks to 5-0. Westfield right now offensively is really dominating Scotch Plains.
Scotch Plains has done a pretty decent job, though, of avoiding most of the serious threats. They seem to avert danger when that one in on net, but a good stop by Scotch Plains goalkeeper.
That was a second scoring chance missed by Westfield.
And we are going the other way, it seems.
It looks like they called offsides on that play. For people that don't follow soccer, offsides is when the offensive player is in front of the last line of defense and touches the ball. You can only touch the ball if there's a defender from the opposing team in front of you.
Or I believe unless that if the ball is also played deep, then you're also allowed to outrun your defender. But ball loose deep in the Scotch Plains zone, and Scotch Plains getting whatever foot they can on it to keep it away, and that shot goes out and wide.
That was his third scoring chance for Westfield. They've definitely been putting a lot of pressure on this freshman goalie for Scotch Plains.
That's a good point. So far, it has not come back to haunt them, but things can change.
Right now, Steve, I definitely think Westfield's in charge, and things keep going this way. It's only a matter of time before they get the goal.
I would seem to agree with you there. This seems like the action's been in this end most of the half.
They've had the ball more time of possession. They've led. Shots on net they've led. Corners they've led. Every statistical category they've led.
Is this? Would you consider this typical for a Westfield game? Pressure until they.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, they're an offensive team. A lot of high-scoring games. I mean, look at both the records: 10-3, 11-1. Both two teams that are sitting on top of this Union County tournament. Both looking ahead to states. Last year, Westfield made it to the state finals, and I'm sure they would love to be there again. I mean. Right now they're missing one of their players, Allison Bridgman, but hopefully they expect her back by states. I mean, they won counties again, and I think Westfield would like to win it again. It looks like number 17, Lauren Meriden, one of the captains, is about to come out,
and there was a scoring chance, and the goalkeeper has to come way out. A terrific decision, and she plays it out of bounds. And there was a real good scoring chance there for Kapler, and she just.
Unfortunately for McCrae, she couldn't get down that ball. The goalie was out there, got out there before she could get the
that
ball.
That one is out, and Scotch Plains throw-in Zazali near side. And this one is played up into Westfield zone, and Scotch Plains not sustaining any possession here.
Well, I've noticed, Steve, for Westfield, Emily McNeil's been playing great on defense.
Yes, she has.
And I really think that's resulted in all the pressure. It all starts with the defenseman. I mean, every time the Scotch Plains gets the ball out, Emily McNeil kicks it back in.
And then we go on this. We stay down at this end of the field, and a great intercept, and Westfield looks for another scoring chance, and a good slide tackle there by Lauren Parada, and substitutions in for Westfield.
Here comes Lauren Meriden and number 18, Andrea Hollander, or number 19, my mistake, Andrea Hollander. Andrea, I've had the pleasure to play soccer with Andrea in gym class. She's quite good. I couldn't get the ball from her. Send it in to Andrea.
And this one is played into the Westfield zone for a change, but out of bounds. And Westfield will play it at midfield, throw in. The rain picks up in intensity. Sorry, Ted.
Well, I must say, Steve, that I think it's been a good 20 to 30 minutes, and Scotch Plains hasn't had the ball in the 18-yard line of Westfield. And if that continues, I don't think Scotch Plains will come out of here with a win.
That's a good point, because they really haven't on. I can't recall one time that they've had a sustained possession, and we keep talking about it, but it is the most important key. And there is a good ball by Zazali just to clear it away from danger.
Here's Emily.
This is what we talk about. As soon as they clear, it comes right back in. And back out to center and back in. And that'll go out of bounds, and the Scotch Plains will have it. And whistle.
Here comes Scotch Plains. Substitution.
Keep it on our side for a while. Let's go.
Number 7.
Jeanette Franzone.
Out for number 8.
Replacing Carly Wells. So substitution is complete, and Bronikowski throws in.
Well, for those of you at home right now, it is definitely raining hard, and I wonder if it's going to have any effect on the way it's playing.
I think it just had an effect there. Sorry, Ted. I think it just had an effect right there. They call a personal foul against Scotch Plains. From this vantage point, it appears that it was just a slip, and there was nobody to trip her. The ball is played out.
For those of you just joining us, the score is still 0-0, but Westfield has definitely had all the scoring opportunities so far. They've had 3 or 4 real scoring opportunities. One time the goalie bobbled it and was about to go in, and she had to literally jump on the ball before it crossed the goal line. And
Zazali will play a goal kick, and she comes near sideline looking for help in Chelsea Mintz, but Westfield is able to keep it.
Well, although we've been speaking a lot about the weather, it hasn't really been windy, so that
hasn't had much of an effect.
Because the last game Westfield High School covered, the boys' game versus Linden, the wind was 40 miles an hour wind, and it definitely had a huge effect on the goal kicks and caused a lot of problems for the players. Also, I would like to remind you this year we are doing Westfield MVPers.
And I will come up with the MVP for Scotch Plains. And first half, I would definitely have to say Scotch Plains goalkeeper is the leading candidate. She has made the key saves.
So far, I would have to go with Emily McNeil. She's definitely played great. Although the score is 0-0, she has definitely helped put a lot of pressure on Scotch Plains.
That's a good choice, Ted. I would pick along the same lines.
Here's number 17, Lauren Marion, captain. First time we've mentioned her name all game. She's a very good player.
And that one is played deep, and there is Ali Zazali there again to corral, and she plays it back up, out of bounds for Westfield.
Big substitutions. It looks like Melissa Rosen's back in, Allison Lupner's back in, Stephanie Bridgman's back in.
interrupt you is if there's an important part of the action. And we are back from Scotch. We're back with you in the second half. Scotch Plains and Westfield scoreless, and it is my pleasure to be working alongside Ted.
What do you think Scotch Plains talked about during their halftime?
Basically, seeing how they can keep control more in their own end rather than having Westfield control the tempo. I think that would seem to be the main point. And Ted, what would you think Westfield needed to work on during the break?
Oh, I think Westfield coach would congratulate his girls. They've been playing phenomenal against this powerhouse team. They've been putting on a lot of pressure, and then I think he would just say, keep up what you're doing. I think he would say that, you haven't got a goal yet, but if you keep on pressuring the way you've done, eventually, the ball will roll your way.
The rain becoming a little steadier. That is, yeah. I would agree with that assessment, Ted.
The rain is definitely picked up here. Hopefully that won't affect any of the gameplay.
You really worry about the players more than anything else and the safety in this sort of situation.
Well, I think soccer. I was talking over with Lauren Sinnerberg, and she's the goalie, and she told me that really wind is the only real weather that really has a big effect on how the way things go.
That would seem to be the probably the primary weather feature. That
I mean, most of these girls have been playing all their lives, and they've played in the cold, they've played in the rain, but wind's really the only thing that has effect on the ball.
And here is Westfield continuing to control the tempo, and that is played out far side.
Wow, it's definitely really picked up raining here in the second half.
Melissa Rosen, far side, and that ball is played in on net and out of bounds, and it will be a goal kick for the Raiders.
It looks like a goalie change for the Raiders. Oh no, my mistake. It looks like a goalie change for Westfield.
As for Scotch Plains.
Oh, the Scotch Plains. It looks like Lauren Sinnerberg's in for Westfield, and for Scotch Plains, it looks like there's another goalie change. I believe Lauren Sinnerberg. Before we cut to the game, she was very nice of her to take time out of her busy schedule and come down to the TV studio and talk about today's matchup.
And the goal kick is played by Mintz. She plays it near side.
Oh.
Out to center. And played in deep by Melissa Rosen.
Well, I mean, here comes Scotch Plains again.
Sapienza looking for a center, looking for some sort of control. There is Doria, and she could not get it by Lauren Sinberg. She's I believe she's a sophomore. She's a very big asset here at Westfield Soccer. Hopefully she can be around for the next 2 years. She's a standout goalie. She was a joy to interview. It's definitely, the rain is definitely picked up here. And the goalie will play it back for the Raiders.
It's raining so hard, you always wonder if it'll have any effect on the game. You worry about the safety. You don't want to see any girls twist their knees, tore an ACL. I mean, those are
have you seen injuries that severe from rain before?
Well, I mean, you've definitely seen it in the pros. You've definitely seen people tore their knee like that.
That is true. And that will be out far sideline, and is that Scotch Plains? Scotch Plains will throw in. It'll be Chelsea Mintz at midfield.
Well, Westfield hopes to keep the pressure on. Scotch Plains They both will like to pressure.
And there is Sapienza. And here comes Westfield. They have the near side, and they are going to play this sort of near the table here. And that is out of bounds. Good try by Danny
hustle
Freed.
by Westfield. She seems to be down.
Seems to be all right.
It was great sportsmanship by Scotch Plains. Scotch Plains player was wondering if the player was okay. You'll have to see that kind of stuff. Here comes the captain to help out this player.
And we're ready to go. Also good to see Lauren Parada back. She went down in the first half with some sort of injury. And
it looks like to be a penalty on Scotch Plains.
Parada, the tenacious junior.
Definitely, I think the cold might have a little effect on the girls. I mean,
it might be a numbing factor.
It's raining very hard, and wet clothes are definitely very cold. It's cold, wet, definitely conditions you do not like when you're going to be outside for long periods of time.
Mintz looking to make a play, and that'll come all the way back, and Zazali will play it out of bounds, and it'll be a throw in Westfield.
I think this is unexpected rain. I didn't hear any weather forecast mention any rain.
There was a little system coming in from the west that suggested perhaps a couple shots, and there's a rough play in the middle. Parada and Palatucci in the middle, getting into a they're both going for the ball, and a rough tackle, and Scotch Plains comes out with the ball from that.
It's an indirect kick, but it's so far away it doesn't really matter. It doesn't I don't think they'll get a shot on net. Here comes Westfield coming down. See if they can make something happen.
Zozali. We have mentioned her name quite a bit today. She has been there every time Westfield seems to get something going.
Well, I think, Steve, this game's really lived up to its hype. You come in, two powerhouse soccer players.
And there was a chance that went just wide. Sorry to interrupt, but that was a great chance from Shieldman.
Two powerhouse teams come in, and they've been playing evenly matched. We haven't even seen a goal yet. It's been 0-0 for those of you who just joined us. I mean, it's been a phenomenal game. It's been like a chess match. I think both these teams are just waiting for the other one to make the wrong move.
And you did see a great scoring chance there for Westfield, and it went just wide on the near side.
For those of you who just joined us, score is 0-0.
Early on in the second half. And that is played near side, and Parada heads it out.
I definitely believe these girls are feeling the
Kelly
cold.
trying to chase it down from behind.
I know I'm feeling the cold, so I can only imagine people in shorts and T-shirts feeling it.
And that is a good play on the far sideline from Bronikowski. Bronikowski has also played well today, stepping in front of a lot of long passes. And chance is stopped.
Well, Steve, it really doesn't seem like Scotch Plains has been able to step up here in the second half. It seems like the story is the same story again. Westfield pressuring.
I think that's more of Westfield being talented offensively than Scotch Plains being. And there is a rough tackle, but it will be a Westfield throw-in here on the near side.
I believe if the game ends scoreless, they might have an
overtime period.
Actually, I've just been informed that they ended in a tie, but I wonder, because this is a county game, I wonder if that will change anything. It could.
And
maybe we'll try to get official word on that one for you guys.
And a good chance for Melissa Rosen, but a nice stop there on the Melissa Rosen shot. She ended up getting a good foot into that one, and goalie got just enough to slow that one down.
Wow, that was very impressive. I mean, Westfield offensively has definitely come out to play.
And Parada with a great play on the ball, standing control, and now moves it out, and Megan keeps it in.
Good play.
Shielman sends it back in.
There's Allison Lutmer with a big kick on net. Oh! That was a great save by the goalie. Melissa Rosen was definitely waiting for the rebound.
Intensity is picking up here. You could feel that Westfield is getting some big chances on net, and Westfield is, Scotch Plains has done a good job to make sure that it hasn't cost them on the scoreboard yet.
Westfield cannot get discouraged. I mean, they've definitely been getting great scoring chances, and they just need to keep up the pressure, and they shouldn't let score get them down.
And
very surprising. I mean, last matchup there was 3 goals, two by Scotch Plains, 1 by Westfield, and here we are, you know, midway through the second half, and we haven't seen a goal yet.
I have a feeling something is about to happen. You just get that feel, you know, the way this is going up and down, that one is just going to go in. Can't tell which way yet, but do you get that feeling, Ted, that the score's about to change?
Steve, I understand where you're coming from. It's not like these teams haven't been playing well. I mean, I definitely think Westfield has been outplaying, you know, Scotch Plains hands down. So I can't imagine with all the scoring opportunities Westfield has been getting that they would not convert on at least one of them. So right now, I think I would have to favor Westfield.
I would agree at the current moment. Westfield again plays another ball deep. Melissa Rosen looking for a chance in the middle, but she overplays her intended.
Here comes
man, and
Parada
with a great ball for Dioria, but that goes just wide.
Here's
and
a big stop by Emily McNeil.
Dioria got a good job of knocking that out, and the kick will come down for.
There's no penalty or infraction on the play. They just wanted to realign the ball.
And that
was a good play by Lauren Selman. Sometimes you can't really know where the head's going to go. Here's a big.
And Melissa Rosen had another chance on net, and she has been all around that ball today.
That's what I'm talking about, Steve. I mean, Westfield has definitely had these great opportunities, and I mean, it's just a matter of time. If Scotch Plains wants to win this game, they need to step up their play.
And, pardon me.
Here comes a substitution. Looks like Carrie Hubbard's going to come into play. And number 9, Julie Stellman. I believe she's related to Lauren Stellman. One's a senior, and I believe one's a sophomore or freshman. Oh.
And
I think that's
goes down hard, far sideline. That looked like it was
it's unclear. We have 2 referees, one pointing one way, one other pointing the other. But I believe it's going to be Westfield ball, trip on Scotch Plains.
Yeah, you could see that fighting for possession on the sideline. The play got a little rough, and Westfield will control.
Here comes a big boot by Emily McNeil. She has a very good leg.
And Sapienza plays one deep for Dioria. Dioria trying to track that one down, but the goalie, Schinnenberg, comes out to knock that one down.
It was a great play, was that she kept the ball down. That was an amazing play by Lauren Schinnenberg. She talked earlier in the interview we did that they wanted to shut down Scotch Plains midfielders, and they've definitely done that. I mean, Westfield is definitely Scotch touchdown.
Parada makes a great play, stepping in front of that to kick that one out. That was right here.
Pallotta, I think, was one of the girls they mentioned that they were watching. Westfield was gunning for to stop, not physically hurt.
Lauren, well, we certainly hope not. That would be malicious. But Lauren Parada is definitely a spark plug. She has, no matter.
I think she's definitely contributed to a lot of those wins so far. And so far, Westfield is hands down shut down Lauren Parada.
Parada's been able to step in defensively, but you're correct, Ted. Offensively, nothing. And that's been the case for the entire team. Well,
I mean, Lauren Sindenberg mentioned earlier that they needed to stop her down, and they've definitely done that. For those of you who just joined us, score is 0-0. I would say we're midway through the second half.
And Ted, most of the people watching would believe that this would be a boring game. 0-0, no scoring. How can anybody sit and watch this? This has actually been a very well played game by both teams.
Well, I mean, soccer score can be 0-0, but it can be an amazing play game. I mean, stats don't really matter that much in soccer. It's can be a very enjoyable sport to watch.
That's what we're seeing here. We're seeing an example of that. Scotch Plains trying to muster some sort of offense, and Sapienza looking in the middle for Dioria, but it is a good job defensively and covered up by Sindenberg. A nice play sliding in, making sure.
That wasn't really the only scoring chance Scotch Plains had. Emily McNeil missed the ball and allowed Scotch Plains to have a semi-chance. Here comes Westfield on the offensive.
Rain is lightened up. You barely feel anything now, so that is good news. There's a long ball.
Here's Gary Covered. Well, let's see if she can get a shot on net.
And there's a good job by Megan Kelly to ride her off the ball and force a goal kick.
It's the first goal kick for actually it's a goal kick. It's the first of many.
Keep it up, Westfield. Keep it up now.
Ali Zazali plays it right here. Was probably looking for Kelly, but played too short. And it is going to be a throw-in for the Blue Devils.
I know Westfield right now does not want to settle for the tie. And they definitely want to
we had a substitution.
Fight hard. I mean, Westfield hasn't tied all season long. They come in here with a record of 10-3. They've been playing very well, although Scotch Plains has an even more impressive record with a record of 11-1-1. But I think right now Westfield does not want to settle for the tie because, frankly, they've outplayed Scotch Plains. I mean, in a game where you haven't played well and you didn't convert many opportunities and that you got very lucky, you would want that tie. But right now, Westfield, I think, deserves a W the way they've been playing.
And there is a good chance for Jenna Balistriere, but it goes wide. And Westfield will control. So another chance that goes wasted. And we've said that quite a bit today.
Well, I wouldn't say that, Steve. I just don't think there's really been any opportunities for Scotch Plains. I mean, in the last 10 minutes, we've seen 2 shots on net, but I mean, other than that, there really hasn't been anything. So I wouldn't say that Scotch Plains has really wasted anything. I mean, they haven't really been able to get anything.
That is a good point. I was remiss in saying they've wasted, but it appears that you could sort of get the sense. And there's a good ball for Carrie. And she cannot get a good job by Megan Kelly again, riding her off the ball. And Zazali there to clear out the mess.
Play by Carrie Hubbard. There's a shot on net.
And there's a good play by Ali Zazali again, heading that one out. And she's been there all afternoon for the Raiders, and they really needed her effort today.
I wonder why they didn't call a whistle on that one. Number 16 for Scotch Plains was very, very rough with Carrie Hubbard. I mean, it could have definitely drew a whistle.
And this will be a free kick for the Raiders.
Well,
Balustriere plays it on a bounce to the goalkeeper, Sonnenberg, who has no trouble holding on to that one.
Lauren Sonnenberg is definitely playing very well right now. First half, there really wasn't any action on that, but this half, when she came in, there's been some shots. She stepped up, came out with a huge save. She's really shut down the only opportunities Scotch Plains has really had offensively.
Wind's starting to pick up just a little bit. You see some things starting to blow around and feeling a couple gusts here. And we mentioned that wind is a big factor in soccer. Hope that doesn't come back to play a big part. You don't want to see weather. And there is Shellman, who is down on the field. There's Parada again. She has been everywhere today. Parada.
She's definitely been playing very well, number 16.
And Zazali will throw in for the Raiders. And she gets it into Balustriere. Parada. And that has got a sting, but a nice play, knocking that out of bounds.
For those of you at home, yes, it did hit her hand, but when the ball is quickly directly clicked to your hand, it is not a handball. It's no infraction on the play. Scotch Plains is definitely pressuring. It would be huge if they could get a goal right here.
And Parada sends one into the zone. And there is Jeanette Franzone looking for some offense. Zazali there to play the ball back into the Westfield zone. Sapienza ahead. And Sonnenberg there again, mentioning her name quite a bit.
Number 16 is for Scotch Plains has been very, very physical with the Westfield players.
She plays like that 100% of the time. That is Parada style.
She's definitely a very fierce player.
Balustriere trying to cross over, and that comes out to Parada, who will play it opposite side, and nobody can catch up with it. Actually, they do keep it in. And now they blow the whistle, and it looks like Scotch Plains will keep it. It will not be a corner, it will be a throw-in.
Westfield needs to keep their cool right here. I mean, they need to keep their offense up, and they can't let Scotch Plains crawl back into the game. It would be very heartbreaking for the Lady Blue Devils, for Scotch Plains to get a cheap goal right here. And
well, they have been able to sustain pressure. I don't know if it would necessarily be considered a cheap goal.
Well, I mean, I think right now for the Lady Blue Devils, they would be disappointed right here with the loss. I mean, it's very hard for an athlete to know that they outplayed someone, but in the end, they don't get the W. I mean, that really can.
And that happens so many times, and it's part of the wide world of sports.
There's Carey, captain.
And there is Morales, far side.
There's a whole swarm of Westfielders come back. Looks like Allison Lutmer. Stephanie Bridgman's coming back on. Number 23, Maureen Beck Connolly's coming in. Melissa Rosen, number 16, is coming in. Dana Fried.
And they're looking for Kelly, far side. Megan Kelly trying to make a play on that.
It was a great play by Kate Albino. She took away that scoring
a good
opportunity
job
for
defensively
Westfield.
there for Westfield, and they control. Yeah, it's going to be a push against Westfield.
I definitely, right now, the referees seem to be leaning towards Scotch Plains. They definitely have been giving some of the questionable calls to Scotch Plains.
And Parada takes the free kick, looking for the header in the box, and nothing doing for the Raiders. And Franzone looking to keep the attack alive. Franzone following in her own ball, and then that will come back out for the Raiders. And
someone really hasn't even come to the bench. She's been playing the full, 45 minutes. Actually, probably 70 minutes right now.
And the action is back in the Westfield zone, or back in the Scotch Plains zone, pardon me, and a substitution for Scotch Plains and Westfield, one from each coming in. Megan Kelly, who has been tracking down some long balls all day, will take a seat, and Bronikowski will come back in, Carlene Bronikowski for the Raiders.
Sends it across. Oh, here comes Ali.
And Ali Ludner had a chance, but couldn't get one on net.
Ali Ludner seems a little disappointed in herself. She made the best out of what she could. I don't think she should really hang her head low on that play, but I mean, she's definitely a competitor and really would like to score right here and does not want this game to end 0-0.
In a tie, I think both teams come out upset, whereas if there's a winner, one team would only come out upset.
Well,
and one team would.
I think Scotch Plains right now would be happy with a tie. The way they played, I think.
Lately, though, they did have a sustained attack in the Westfield zone, and still throughout the game, though, I think.
That is true. But I mean, still, Westfield's definitely been dominating.
Pretty good crowd on hand watching the game today.
Well, it is a county game, so usually that draws a little more people. But it's hard, on a school day. Students have work and homework, so
naturally, we do know about that, by the way.
The crowd seems to be a lot bigger on the weekends, but still a sizable crowd.
Respectable, to say the least. And Ted, do you also get the feeling that First Goal is going to win this one?
I feel that yes. I mean, I think if the next 20 minutes of play, whoever gets the goal will probably come out with the win. And
do you also think that a loss, which is more lasting on a team, a win in this situation or a loss in this situation? Which do you think can stay with the team longer?
I think right now for Westfield, after winning the counties last year, it's always disappointing losing a game knowing that you probably should have won it. So I think right now Westfield has a little more pressure to deal with, considering that they won the counties last year.
And they've got that reputation to build, that keep on. Here is a challenge, and Parada.
Here's Allison, but those a little hot. Shot on net. Oh!
Right at the goalie. Oh. Got a good leg into that kick, but for Scotch Plains, fortunate it was right into the arms of their goalkeeper.
Well, if we were watching this on Channel 34, they would say fortunate, but here at 36, they might say a little unfortunate.
That is a good point. It's from whatever point of view you're trying to broadcast that.
For those of you who just joined us late, it's been an epic battle here at Roosevelt School. Score 0-0.
This is a game that will probably be talked about for a while, considering the conditions it's being played in and how hard it's being played.
I mean, this is one of those games that they'll look back on. It's been very hard fought. Neither team's really given up.
And Parada makes a nice play to keep away.
Push on Kate Albino. Right now, neither team is desperately looking for a goal. It's still unclear if there's going to be a overtime because it is a county game.
It does look a little brighter, which hopefully means that this is clearing up a little bit. And Lauren sends one into the Westfield zone deep, and it is played out, and it is going to be a Westfield throw-in.
I believe, I could be incorrect that at the field hockey game it was a county game and they went to a shootout. So I wouldn't be surprised if the score ended 0-0 if we saw a shootout. But
that would be a really hard way to lose a game, but it would also be a very, very confidence lifting game. There's a game. Melissa Rosen on net, and it goes just wide. A nice save. Melissa Rosen got a good leg into one, but playing the near post and was able to block that one off.
Right now Westfield's been stepping up. 2 big scoring opportunities in the last 5 minutes. I mean, Westfield's shown that they really want this. They really want this, and I think a tie just would
corner, and that is going out of bounds, and a break for the Raiders. They are able to dodge another bullet.
Well, yes. I mean, that was a good kick by Emily McNeil, but just unfortunately sailed out of bounds before Westfield could make anything happen out of it.
There have been more organized scoring chances in the second half for both teams, I believe. Both teams seem to have applied more pressure, and that goes out of bounds, throwing for Westfield. And Bronikowski keeps that near side.
There's Lauren Selman. Uh-oh, here comes Westfield pressuring again. They would love to keep the ball in. They don't.
And there is Carlene Bronikowski. We've mentioned her name quite a bit as well today. She has been pretty good on the near sidelines.
A white kick on that play.
And perhaps a foul there on Brianna Falco.
Here's a big kick by Emily McNeil. Huge leg. Very impressive.
And that'll go out of bounds and to the Blue Devils.
Send it in.
In the zone. And another great save, and that had to hurt. I think that
that could be a red card. It's a
yellow
card.
We have a yellow
card for Allison Littmer.
There was no malice there. She was just going for the ball, and she ended up clipping the goalie. And
I personally know Allison Littmer, and she's a very nice girl, and I don't believe that was intentional.
She was just trying to lob one over the goalie's head, and she just tried to make that. She just tried to make a play on that rather than go after the goalie. And I would agree that there was no intent there.
Westfield for soccer, high school soccer, when you get a yellow card, you have to come out for your period of time. Hopefully they can get her back towards the end of the game. She's definitely a huge part of Westfield's offense.
And it looks like Zazali will take the kick for the Raiders. And there is Regano. Sapienza. Sapienza looking for control and plays it just out of the reach of teammate Carlene Bronikowski.
It'll be a goal kick taken by Emily McNeil. She seems the designated person for all the big kicks for Westfield.
Ted, would you say that Emily McNeil has the best leg on the team?
Yes, I would say. Yes, yes. I mean,
And there's a foul. Sorry to interrupt. Jesse Sapienza, aggressive.
she takes all the goal kicks. I mean, Allison Lutmer has a good shot. Melissa Rosen has a good shot. I mean, defender-wise, I think she has the best leg power.
And that one will be played out of bounds by Parada, the right play in that situation. And her help now comes.
Let's see if Westfield can get a goal out of this.
Come on, White, now let's put it in the net.
This has been a fantastically played game, and we are still scoreless late here in the second half.
Both teams are really looking hard for a goal. They would like to see one. I think a victory for both teams would mean a lot.
And Carlene Bronikowski down the side trying to win one for the Raiders, but Stephanie Bridgman has been a very, very big part of Westfield keeping, and then she goes down.
No, that's not Stephanie Bridgman. Oh. That's number 15, Justin Palmer. Stephanie is a junior. She was on varsity last year. She's a very good player.
She's played a very good game. I think I would be hard to find one person or one girl here who has not played well today. And that will be going down for Scotch Plains. Is that in play? No, they will go put that back for the kick. Ted, did they call a foul on that specific play?
I think it was a foul, maybe a push, trip.
Parada plays it deep, looking for help. She didn't get any, and Ludner, who picked up the yellow card, is now back on the field, and it is her trying to
I wonder if that has any effect on Allison Lutmer. She can't be as aggressive, because if you get 2 yellow cards, it equals a red card, and she would be out for a game. She might receive a suspension. It's going to be a Westfield ball push on number 7.
Jeanette Franzone with the personal foul there.
Here comes Emily McNeil. I wonder if Emily McNeil is going to come up more. She has a very good leg. She might pressure a little more. Time is definitely winding down. Those who have joined us, score is still 0-0.
Late in the second half, we have been treated to quite a good scoreless game here.
I mean, it's always good when you see 2 teams coming here with the records that they do. One was Westfield with a 10-3, Scotch Plains with a record of 10-1.
And Scotch Plains had that well defensed. Franzone will track it down and play it up. And Bronikowski inadvertently knocks it out. And that is still in. And Zazali.
It'll be out on bounds.
We have a throw-in for Westfield.
Big throw-in.
Bronikowski. And Parada sends one deep, clears the immediate threat, overrun, and it luckily does not really come back to hurt them. Dioria tracks it down, plays
here's
down,
number 3.
Downfield for herself.
Meyer Becker Cullen. She's a sophomore. She's a very nice girl. She was in my foods class. She's quite the chef. It's very impressive to see a sophomore already on the varsity level.
She was so you're saying her culinary skills were fantastic.
Yeah. Yes, and it seems that it carries over into the soccer field. Her skills are right up there.
And we have a throw-in for the Raiders here on the near sideline late in the second half.
It's number 23.
and this is going to be on the near sideline. Parada throws it in, and Westfield clears for the moment. Balistriere, Franzome, but a good play. And then Monique Morales there, right play, right time. Sapienza.
Oh.
And that went just wide.
But a great play by Lauren Sinnerberg. She just got that ball. I mean, that was Scotch Plains' first real scoring attempt on the day. That was very, very close, inches away from going in.
This is the Scotch Plains third corner, and all three have come in the second half.
Scotch Plains seems to be stepping up a little, and right now Westfield hopefully can get something.
And
sorry. And here's Andrea. See if Allison Lumber can run this down.
And Zazali will get there first and play it just out for her teammates to catch up.
Here comes Westfield back down.
And that went right off of Parada.
Bridgman
played one high and tight, and it goes over. And that is going to do it for today's game. This is going to end in a scoreless time, it appears. We'll see. We'll see how they decide to.
It's unclear if this game's over. I believe that the play continues because it is an accounting game.
It looks like a captain from each team will come out to the center circle, and we are now on air. This is Stephen Smith, and we are on air doing today's game. It's been our pleasure.
Shout out to my parents.
Likewise here. Stephen would also like to. We have a coin toss, though, back on game action, and
for those of you, the game is not over. We're moving into sudden death overtime.
The coin toss, would that be for a shootout? Would that be to determine who shoots first?
I believe it was just a field of possession. Number 5. Sorry, I was just informing a parent about a girl on Scotch Plains. I believe we're going in now to overtime, and this is pretty intense. I don't believe we're going into a shootout. I believe it will be overtime, and then I think we move into a shootout. Normally in girls soccer they do end on ties, but this is a county game, so the play continues on.
Would they keep going through as many shootouts as they need to determine a winner?
I believe they play a short overtime. Then you pick 5 people for both sides. Your best player can be your goalie, it can be anybody on your team to take shots, and then best set of 5, whoever. And then if it ends in a tie, let's say all 5 kickers made them for both teams, they would go to kicker number 6, kick number 7, so on until one team has the advantage.
So it's similar to a hockey shootout.
Yes, very similar.
Okay.
The rules are you can only use the players that were on the field at the end of the overtime.
So a bench player could not come in and participate in the shootout.
I think for Westfield, they would probably go with Allison Lutmer, probably Emily McNeil, Melissa Rosen, Lauren Stellman, and Stephanie Bridgman.
If that were to go to the shootout, that is. MVP to discuss. For Scotch Plains, you can give a number of girls the MVP for effort this afternoon. I would personally go with Lauren Parada. She's been tracking everything down. She's cleared any threat. She is also hung in there. She went down. So she gets MVP. Definitely for grittiness, if not also for her accomplishments on the field. Ted, who do you have for Westfield?
Steve, I think it's a little early to really give out any MVP awards. I mean, this is where, stars are made here in overtime. This is where names are made.
I agree. It's for the game. It's early to determine an MVP, but through regulation, she is my candidate.
Right now, I would probably go with for Westfield, Emily McNeil. I wonder. I believe they only play one overtime period, and then they go to shootouts. It is a county game, which makes things a little more exciting.
Well, this has been very exciting here this afternoon. Both teams have been doing a fantastic job. And what do you know? A peak of sun. This is definitely an optimistic omen here as we head down the stretch. A peak of sun over my right shoulder, and that is definitely welcome news. So the rain is cleared. It went away, and hopefully it'll come back another day, as the old adage goes.
Westfield would love to get a goal early. Both teams would love to get a goal early.
So here we go. Zazali plays it, and that is out of bounds. And Westfield will have it far sideline.
Well, it's good the rain stopped. I don't think that'll affect any of the, that'll take the element of rain out of the play.
And there is Balustriere, far sideline. And that one is high in the air, but Zazali plays for the Raiders.
That was an excellent trap by Lauren Selman. Way to control it. Here's Stephanie Bridgman.
And Parada tracks it down and makes another play. And that's why I had picked her as the MVP.
It all started with Lauren Selman's trap. I mean, she made the basic trap, allowed her to get the great ball to Stephanie Bridgman, but unfortunately didn't work out.
The Raiders have been on their heels the entire game, but Sapienza tried to push one ahead, but a good play defensively there by Westfield. And it'll go out of bounds to the Blue Devils. Almost. And there is Parada playing it out for the time being. And that'll go out of bounds to Westfield.
Right now, I mean, the girls have been playing for an hour and a half so far, and you have to wonder, is there any level of fatigue? I mean,
yeah, that's a good point, Ted. Stamina is an issue.
Right here, I mean, these are all when the hard practices, the stamina. This is where it pays off. All your hard work, running alone.
For a game of this magnitude, I think that that might not be a factor. You're going on pure adrenaline now.
That is true, but I definitely think it helps.
You're trying to track that one down for the Raiders, but takes a bad angle to it, and it'll go out of bounds. And Scotch Plains has it for the time being.
And it feels also that the temperatures dropped a little in the last 2 minutes. There was a little show of sun, but it's definitely very, very cold.
Yeah, it's chilly, and anything that is hit in the sensitive part of the area, sensitive part of the body, is going to sting right now.
Yes.
This is Ali. And again, this is the pattern we have continued to see. No really sustained possession here for either team.
Big book to Alice Lummer.
Ludmer, the all-star, so to speak. And Franzome ahead to Regano. And Parada. And there's a tangle out in the middle of the field. Kelly Regano. And
it'll be Westfield ball. Alan McNeil will come out for the kick. And then they're going to try the little tap. And get a shot on net from Emily.
From a strategic standpoint, which do you think is the better method of approaching this?
Well, I think it's a little far, even though it's indirect kick. I don't think they'll just send it in. Maybe get it a foot up there. Send it up to Allison Lumber. Oh, the goal is
loose, and it goes high and over the net. Fantastic scoring chance. A risky move by Scotch Plains goalkeeper to go out, and
that was a great effort on Melissa Rosen's part. She saw the open net, got a little excited, and sent a powerful kick over the net.
If she had taken her time, it's possible she could have put that one home.
Well, I mean, hindsight's 50-50. I mean, you're out there heat of the moment. She made her best effort. I don't think she should really question herself. I mean, it's very
good effort, and we've seen good effort the entire game today.
Yes, but I really think both these teams would like to come out of here with a win. I mean, if Scotch Plains could fall off a win right here, they would probably be very happy because they know that they've been outplayed.
First half, I would agree with you. They've been outplayed. Second half, I thought that they did a much better job of adjusting, and I don't know if you can necessarily say they were outplayed. Both teams had their chances in the second half.
I believe, Steve, though, the intensity level has risen because I don't think they play like a time. I think sudden death overtime, because normally they don't have overtime, so I think they go with sudden death. You also have to factor in that there is JV waiting to play.
That's true.
So I think they do go because of time and sunlight. They go with sudden death.
And a good scoring chance. Sorry to cut you off there, but Sinnenberg was there again, and she will punt that one out. Sorry, Ted. I did not mean to interrupt.
It's quite all right, Steve. Here comes goal. It comes out. Very smart play by Emily McNeil, allowing the goalie to come out because you're not allowed to touch a ball. You can't use your hands when the ball is kicked to you by your teammates.
And Balistriere tried to control on her right foot for.
Oh, here comes Westfield.
Parada.
See if
and comes out Ludmer.
Here comes Westfield pressuring.
That goes out of bounds, and two Scotch Plains from 116 to another, and Parada throws in.
It's been a great game, Steve.
It has, and you can also feel it as we head towards sunset. It is getting quite chilly here, between the wind and the actual temperature falling off. It is getting chilly.
And at one point, it was a little downpour. Oh, here comes Westfield. Oh.
And a great job by Ali Zazali clearing that one away from the oncoming rush. And Bronikowski down the sideline. She will get to it first.
Well done,
and then.
Uh-oh. Here comes Westfield coming back on the attack. Every time there's a chance to score, Westfield's crowd really gets into it. You can really feel excitement here in the stands on the swing field.
With every passing moment, the crowd gets louder and louder, and then the intensity builds. That's a good observation, Ted.
I mean, I believe that there's only one overtime period. There might be two. I wonder how many overtime periods we will have before there is a shootout. If there's a shootout, I think the intensity level will be risen dramatically.
If that's at all possible. This is as close as they come.
Yes, it's been a very hard-fought game. 0-0 has been the score for those who just joined us. We're in the first overtime period, sudden death overtime.
And Jessie Sapienza down the sideline looking to center it. And there's a good job, and Sinnenberg makes a great catch on the high shot, and she clears.
It's a big goal kick, big goal kick. Here comes Westfield.
And we have a whistle and a little touchy.
That
looked like a touchy foul.
Yes.
we've seen some of the lesser contact fouls be whistled, but then some of the ones where both players are going at the ball real hard, they have kept the whistle in their pockets.
It's very
Bridgman and Bronikowski, and it will be a throw in Scotch Plains.
I mean, referees are not always correct, but they're never wrong. I mean, what they say really, matters in the end. This is a county game, so normally for the bigger the game, the more experienced refs they get. Oh!
And there is a hard foul on Lord Parada, and that is, she has probably gotten underneath the skin of the Westfield players.
There might be a card issued. I think they're going to issue her
that in all likelihood
card.
will be. It should be.
He's pulling out his card.
Yeah, that is a yellow card. That was a very hard foul, and we hope Parada's all right. She's been tenacious, and
Chick, send it back post.
so she'll stay in. It appears she's all right, and she'll take this kick.
Second yellow card of the game. For those of you just joining us, Allison Miranda got received a yellow card up earlier.
That wasn't me, sir. That's what she tried to do. That wasn't me, sir.
And now we have a substitution. And if
I don't think
it looks like Bridgman's going out, but
this is the right call right here.
They're sending the wrong player out.
The infraction was on number 18. She was the elbow into the back. It's unclear why Stephanie Bridgman is getting sent out. It's a very questionable call right there. It's hard for coaches and fans to watch when everyone in the place knows that the referee's wrong.
I'll tell you a funny story on the middle.
And that one is played out to center, and Zazali, the defenseman, comes far up, but does control for Scotch Plains. Franzone looking to sustain the attack, and Bronkowski has an angle on it. The shot is saved by Sennenberg. A great job, and that is the end of overtime.
That is the end of the overtime.
And we'll see if a shootout awaits.
It's unclear. But we've been trying to get an official word, but it's unclear. Right now, seeing like switching sides, I believe it's another overtime period.
It does not look like the game is over, that's for sure. Both players are, both teams, are still ready to go. They're huddling around respective benches. And the longer this game goes on, the longer the colder temperatures will be a factor.
For those of you just joining us, we'll give a little game update. We're now getting ready for the second overtime sudden death. The score has been 0-0. Both teams have played great. I mean, Westfield, I would say, has had the edge most of the game. Had a little more pressure on that. Got a little better scoring opportunities. But, I mean, as the game's gone on, Scotch Plains has definitely stepped up. I mean, it's been a very hard-fought game. I mean, it's probably one of the best soccer games I've seen.
This is an intense rivalry, and this is only another chapter being written today.
I believe this is the last overtime. I would be surprised if there's another overtime period if this continues to be 0-0.
I've never heard of triple overtime in soccer. I believe
eventually you have to think of the light factor, and I think they would. I think after this they'll go with.
A fantastic play there by Balistriere. Slide tackle, and was able to.
Westfield does not want to see this.
Come on, Mo, down the line, baby, down the line.
And Morales inbound.
Same thing.
We'll do it again, near sideline.
It's definitely getting very dark. Right now we are we're almost reaching the 2-hour mark of our broadcast.
And the street lights, by the way, will not suffice to light the field, by the way. It would just get completely dark and unsafe.
Who's here?
Yes,
Jesse.
I believe this will be the last, and they'll go with the shootout. I really, Steve, I really would love to see a shootout. I think that would be
a fitting ending.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, I don't think you. I don't see either team scoring. I think this game has been a stalemate, and I think they'll have to go to a shootout to decide it.
I concur, for lack of a better word. And Sapienza plays it high in the air, and that is going to go out of bounds and a Westfield goal kick.
Good. That's what I reserved.
Steve Smith joining Ted.
And
Owen here.
Ted Thode.
Then
It's
don't
been
come.
our pleasure to bring you this game. And we are on
very
there,
simple.
and there's a wave.
As you notice, it is very cold. We are both sporting the hood look.
Yeah, perhaps you could see our breath if you squint real hard. That one is played out to center, and Chelsea Mintz and Ali Ludner are there, and that one is out at center.
You can go there. You can go there. You can go there for nothing, and you won't be in.
Oh, uh-oh.
A hard tackle,
It's a hard
Chelsea Mintz
tackle.
and Ali Ludner.
Allison Lumber's down.
And see if she's all right. We hope so. She's been fantastic for Westfield this afternoon. And it is going to be a throw-in for Westfield. Westfield has the ball.
Westfield really hoping to score. I mean, both teams would like to end this. Here comes a substitution. Andrea Hollander comes in to replace number 8. Julian Pachucci. Andrea Hollander, I mean, yeah, I have to look at the fatigue factor for her. She's been playing 2 hours of soccer, and I know personally that she was playing soccer in 9th period gym, so she's been playing close to 3 hours of soccer today.
That's a long day of soccer for anybody. And there is Jesse Sapienza for the Raiders, trying to get some momentum here. Neither team has had any momentum in this overtime period, and Sonnenberg picks it up.
I mean, that's very true. I really do believe it's going to come down to an over a shootout.
Second overtime, double overtime, whichever you prefer, but we're here.
Score
Still-
0-0.
Still looking for that first goal, the game winner.
Honestly, Steve, I thought both teams would come out scoring. I mean, 2-1 was the last time they faced. It's been a lot of goals.
Yeah, I thought that this would be one of those shootouts, those Brazil-Argentina shootouts, as you see on TV sometimes, where they end up being 5-4 in overtime or so. And Parada tracks that down. She's been hustling all game long, and if no matter what, I think I have to give her my my MVP bid. But that's for a different time.
Well, Steve, I mean,
And that will be whistled against Parada. A little aggressive there, and Westfield will have a kick.
is Emily McNeil coming up? I would have to give the Westfield an MVP here to Emily McNeil. She's been playing great. But, you know,
There are so many worthy candidates for both teams.
and I really do believe that too. But, Steve, I mean, there's so much time remaining. I mean, right now, I mean,
Perhaps our MVP is not yet known.
yes, I'm still holding my. Here's Andrea. Let's see if she can center it. Shot on net, but a little wide.
And that one will go one. And substitution in here for Westfield. Scotch Plains will keep their same lineup on the field.
Looks like Dana Fry's back on to relieve Aaron McRae. It's definitely very, very chilly.
Bone
These girls
chilling.
have been playing soccer for about two and a half hours now.
And
Almost.
Parada plays it to midfield. And
A big kick by Emily McNeil.
there's a lot of leg in that one. And
I believe it'll be Westfield ball.
Morales could not keep that one in with the header, so Westfield has it near side, and that goes out, and Westfield will maintain it. And that also goes out of bounds. This time we have a change of possession, and Chelsea Mintz will throw in for the Raiders. Looking for Jesse Sapienza. Nothing doing.
Sends it out. Let's see if Emily McNeil can send it back down. Oh, here comes Emily McNeil hustling up. Defender sends it down.
That goes out of bounds and to Westfield. Time is running out here in the second half and the second overtime. Perhaps we've got 1 or 2 minutes left.
I have a feeling this game will be going to the shootout. It'll be very exciting to see. I wonder who coaches will put in for the shootout.
And a stinger off of Carmada. And Scotch Plains will throw in. Carmada near side, far side. And Sapienza trying to gain and plays it back towards the middle, but no teammates there to help her out. And there was a pretty hard tackle, and again on the ground is another Raider.
Oh, here comes Westfield attacking. Who sends it up? It's Allison. It seems like Melissa Rosen's going to be on that ball. Here comes a big
with
pinch.
an angle.
Sends it into Allison
the center. And it is cleared.
Oh, big shot. Here, Westfield.
Not cleared yet, pardon me. And now it is cleared out by Megan Kelly. And they send it out.
That was great communication on Westfield.
That is the best scoring chance of the double overtime period.
Allison's number signal that they had to.
Offside. It was a close call, and they just put the flag up and call it offside.
Every time that they blow the whistle, I hope they double whistle it, because that means that it'll be showdown time.
I too share your enthusiasm for the shootout, Ted. I think that would be a fitting ending to such a well-played game.
Yes. But it's definitely, I mean, it's getting cold, it's getting dark, it's been raining. I mean,
I'm sure
girls have definitely
the only people who do not want a shootout are probably the goalkeepers.
I mean, yeah, that is true. I mean, I don't know who you would favor there in the shootout.
The way you know these two teams are matched is if the shootout ends in a tie.
I think Sennenberg has been tested more.
She has, which is good and bad for Scotch Plains. Good meaning they've gotten the ball in the end. Bad, they haven't put one past her. And that is a well-played ball. And down the side and out of bounds. And Melissa Rosen throws in for Ludmer.
See if Andrew can send it in.
And that one is a well-defended ball by Ali Zazali, who's been a defensive hero. Ali Zazali has been a defensive hero today for the Raiders.
There'll be light ball.
And
Ooh.
no whistle, and
McNeil keep it in. Shows time. Let's see if she can make something happen. Oh.
And that is a pretty hard tackle from Jenna Balustriere, and we will have a kick for Westfield right at about midfield. Emily McNeil drives one deep, and that is a ball that is
here comes Westfield.
And a great save.
Ball.
What a chance for the Raiders, and a great save made again by the Scotch Plains goalkeeper. We can't say enough about
that. They had a chance for an open net and was unable to put the ball in.
And there is your double overtime. So we'll see if that is it. It looks like that's going to be it. The way they are the teams are huddling coming off the benches, it looks like that's it.
This is interesting. I don't. Are they calling it for time? It's unclear what's going on.
Well, we'll see if they shake hands.
Teams are lining up. It's been a great game.
And that will do it, Ted. It was quite a pleasure doing our first game this year.
We ended with a 0-0
there you see
tie.
A double overtime thriller that neither team was able to put one in.
I think it definitely has to be disappointing for Westfield. I mean, they had 2 major scoring opportunities and were unable to convert. But I mean, I think they'll settle with a tie. It'll leave the record 10-3-1.
And
Scotch Plains record will be
11-1-2.
I will like to give a special thanks to Comcast. They've been.
I would like to second that for all the efforts that the technical crew has done. They've been fantastic in setting up and running today's game, and we have had the honor of calling today's game.
It's been a thriller. I hope
you enjoyed.
Do it again. And this is Ted Doe signing off.
And Stephen Smith. Have a good evening.
This has been a production of SPF, ETV, and Westfield High School Television.